Welcome to the Online Success Journey podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey podcast, Patience.
Welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 345. We have a wonderful guest for you today. So make sure you click to subscribe right now and ensure you'll never miss a journey. I post 1 to 2 episodes each week and each guest has a fascinating story to tell. Today we have Richard LeBrun, a senior executive working with small to medium-sized companies, helping them with strategic planning, coaching, and leadership training. Hello, Richard.
Hi, how are you today?
I am fine, thank you. My audience are excited to hear your story, but just start by telling us one thing we are going to learn from you today.
Well, I hope you'll learn the fact that you can build wealth by owning your own business. And I'd love to talk to you a little bit about how to go about doing that. And we specialize in the franchise industry.
I can't wait to hear more about that. Let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my audience a little bit about your background?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I'm 68 years old. I was in commercial real estate for 30 years, so pretty much my entire career. But at 60 years old, I had a very large client that decided to sell all their real estate and move back to Australia. And so I found myself in the job market, which led me to a process of evaluating what my options were. I had always worked for corporate America, and so I started looking at other options from the entrepreneur side. I looked at starting my own business. I looked at buying an existing business. And then I ran across the franchise industry and a franchise consultant. And I started learning about what they did, and I love talking about business. I was looking for an opportunity to be an entrepreneur where I didn't have to worry about my career anymore, and I could kind of take control of my destiny. So I went on the journey, and I started looking at all variety of different franchises. And ironically, I really enjoyed what the consultant was doing for me. So I asked the consultant, tell me more about what you do. And long story short, I decided to be a consultant myself. And so I've been doing this now over 6 years. I actually love it. I love helping my clients reach their goals and their dreams. And I love talking about business. And so I'm very happy with what I'm doing. I could do this until I'm 80 if I want to. And I just really enjoy doing it. I work with executives all over the country who are looking to transition either out of a job or maybe just transition into an entrepreneur position and are looking at owning their own business, want to discover the franchise industry to see if it's an option for them.
Wow, what a background, Richard. But why do you do what you do?
Well, because I went through the journey myself. When I was 60 years old and out of work, I was kind of faced with a harsh reality that a lot of people, corporate America was not necessarily hiring older senior executives. I was not done yet. I had a lot of energy and purpose and vision for myself and my future. So it was a little bit depressing, if I could be candid with you. So I said, I need to figure out what my options are. And I went down my 5 options, which was either I got to retire, and I wasn't ready to, get a job in corporate America, which I was finding very difficult. And the last 3 had to do with either starting my own business, buying a business that's not a franchise, or buying a franchise. So I really went through that whole journey myself. And at the end of it, I go, I really want everybody to know about it. You know, being an entrepreneur is not for everybody, but they should at least take a look at the franchise industry as an option. And it's very exciting. It's a very exciting field. They can be take control of their own destiny and their future, and they can actually build wealth. So I love doing it. I really want everybody to know about it and at least take them on the journey.
Wow. At 68 years old, some people will quit. You are an inspiration to us all.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a whole new chapter in life, and now I've got a great job. My wife works with me. We can travel. We can do this as long as we want to, and we get to help people. And that's really, even if they don't buy a franchise, we still get a chance to help them understand the idea of business ownership and to see if it's for them. and make sure they look at that in a very correct, systematic way. So either way, we get to help people, and that's what we love doing.
Let's put man aside. How do you know you are successful?
Well, it's how you define success. Obviously, you can define success financially, which we've been successful that way. But we really are successful when we get testimonies from our clients and saying they really are grateful for the process that we took them through to help them reach the dream that maybe they've been dreaming for 20, 30 years. That really, to me, defines our success.
Let's say I am a senior who's thinking of ways to build wealth. Tell us, how can owning my own business help me?
Yeah, well, owning a business is a tremendous way to build wealth. When you look at your investment options, and by the way, we're not suggesting everybody do just one thing. We ask them to look at all their investment options of buying stock or buying real estate or buying bonds, but to look at owning a business to build wealth, because what you can do is you can actually build a nice career if you want to. You can buy one or two franchises, or you can actually build an empire. There's companies that own thousands of franchises. There's corporations. Warren Buffett owns franchises. Target Corporation here in the United States owns 1,000 pizza franchises. So it's really an open playing field that they can have just one by themselves a job, or they can actually grow it for their family, leave a legacy for their kids, or they can actually build an empire if they want to.
Let us see how to compare business ownership to other investment options.
Well, that's a great question. I appreciate you asking that. I'm going to give you an example. If you wanted to, let's say, replace a $200,000 salary and you wanted to invest in stocks, you'd have to tie up about $2 million in stock and get a 10% return. Or if you wanted to use real estate, you have to tie up about $2 million in real estate to get and get a 10% return to get that $200,000. What's nice about owning a business, you can buy a $300,000 business and generate $200,000. So the correlation is different. You don't have to have as much wealth, such as tying up $2 million in either stock or real estate. You can come in at a different level, and you can take your time and build it. Some people buy one franchise, some people buy two or three, and they start that way. Where I get my haircut, it's a value brand called Sports Clips. The gentleman owns 40 of them, but he didn't own 40 at once. He slowly built it over 10 years, and then he slowly built himself an empire.
Tell my audience about the magic moment, the day everything went right for you.
The magic moment for me? Well, it really went right when, personally, in finding this business, because it really matched up to all the things that I like doing. I love coaching people. I like talking about business. I like talking about investments. And I was looking for a business that I could work from home. I didn't want to have any, a lot of employees. I could be portable, or I could work anywhere in the world if I want to. So that magic moment for me is when I came about this particular career move. And I said, this is really perfect. And in fact, my wife and I just came back from spending 3 months in Florida, avoiding the Chicago winters. And we just picked up our laptops, moved down there, and we did our business from a warmer climate. So that was when we said, this is the right decision for us.
What have you learned from business as a whole?
What have I learned from business? Well, it's interesting. I studied leadership and taught leadership for many years. And leadership is really not just about leading people. It's all about leading yourself. And when we talk about owning a business, I get a chance to tell people, I go, on Friday, you bought the business. On Monday, you're the CEO. And what's your vision? What's your vision beyond the particular franchise? Why do you want to be in business? Do you have a passion or a cause? Or do you have something you want to do with inner city kids? Do you have something you want to do in a social matter? So what I've learned about business is you really need to understand yourself, understand your own value system and how you want to operate. And then you could lead from there and lead other people. So that's why I really, after my 30-some years of a career, that's why really is my big takeaway.
If you could rerun the first year of your business, what would you definitely not do?
Yeah, this is a wonderful question, especially in the franchise world. When people buy a franchise, they're buying a system, okay? Something that's already been proven. The brand name has awareness in the market. There's operating systems, marketing systems, and it's already proven. And you're buying into that system. But the mistake people make, and I made, is to think that I could recreate a wheel that was already created. And so I took about 6 months trying to bump my head against the wall by trying new and different things. And it finally dawned on me, why don't I just follow the system that I learned and paid for? And so I always joke around you don't want to buy a McDonald's and try to sell hot dogs. It doesn't work. Okay. And you can try for 6, 8, 10 months and finally figure out it doesn't work. Or you could just buy the system, follow the system, and be successful much more quicker.
What is the most valuable thing you have ever given away?
Well, one thing we have a lot of clients that don't buy. Okay. And I'm committed, and I've told them I'm committed to help them regardless. And so I feel that I give away my expertise to anyone and everyone. And if they end up buying, and that is the route they took, great. But I really want them to know that they can be an entrepreneur. It's within their reach. If they can't afford the franchises that we sell, I try to help them get into some other business model that may be more cost-effective for them. So I really feel that I like to give away my knowledge and wisdom to anybody who wants to learn about the idea of owning a business.
What is one thing that has contributed to your success?
Well, you have to still have a good work ethic. Okay, you need to get up in the morning. You still need to go to work. You still need to have the discipline. You still need to be an expert in your field and try to be really good because your customers are counting on you to know what you do and do it well. So I think that's what I bring to the table, and I think that's the one thing that I've learned the most.
What grounds you?
My faith. I'm a man of faith, and I devote this business to God, and I feel He's guided me through this process.
In your business, do you have a mentor yourself, a coach?
I do. I think there's a saying in the business world, when you reach the top, they say it's lonely at the top. And it's because you're the last one in line to make decisions. So every good CEO should have a team outside their company that surrounds them. So I have very good, strong friendships that I've been involved with for years that I could look to mentorship. I have actually people in the industry itself who've done this longer than I have that serve as my mentor. It's a critical part of my business model.
What is the most valuable thing your mentors has told you?
To stay on track. It's really hard put it this way, it's not hard to lose focus. You really have to really make sure that you stay in the reality. A lot of times you like to live in the fantasy of you think you have customers, you think you have business coming in, but the reality is you don't, and you really need to get clear on that and stay focused. And then continuously working on my skill as far as understanding brands better, being a better consultant. That's the best thing I could do is learn how to coach better my clients. So I'm continuously learning that.
I am exhausted out of work. What career option do I have beyond working for the corporate world?
About half our clients are out of work and half our clients are working. So this is a very common question. Our clients generally are 45 to 65, although we have outliers on either side of that, but the majority of them fall between 45 and 65. And here's a reality check for them, and they can just check on LinkedIn. They don't need to necessarily believe me. But when you're in that in that demographic, the average job is lasting somewhere between 2 to 3 years. So let's say you're 50 years old and you want to stop working at 70. You have to ask yourself, what am I going to do for 20 years? Okay. So what we say, look at ownership of a business, because now you're in control of your destiny. No longer are you waiting for an employer to, give you a raise or guarantee you a future promotion. You are now in charge. So the really options are really the 5 I mentioned earlier. If they can retire, let them retire. Try to find another job in corporate America. Again, if they're 45 to 65, and as they get older, that gets harder, and that margin gets smaller. Or your last three is you start your own business. Again, when you're a little bit older, it's the we call the runway ahead of you is shorter, rather than if you were 20 years old. But you can start your own business. You can buy a business that's not a franchise, or you can buy a franchise. And primarily, people in that demographic like the franchise model better because they're generally conservative financially. They're going to invest some money that they earmark for retirement, and they want to make sure they have a better chance of getting that money back. They want to speed the market. Again, maybe they're 55 and they want to get that business up and running quicker. Franchise can do that for them. They want to use all the experience that they had in the past. Maybe they're in business for 20, 30 years in corporate America. They really want to take that skill set and go forward, and that's what a franchise is looking for. And then they don't want to do things by themselves. So when you buy into a franchise, you're instantly connected into a family at the corporate office and as well as your fellow franchisees around the country. So those are the four reasons that a franchise model works better, but those are the options that a person out of work has.
Let's talk about your business. Tell us about it and who can join it.
Yeah, so we specialize in franchising only. Okay, our clients are generally speaking 45 to 65. They need some mid-management up to CEOs. The franchise companies are looking for an executive who knows how to run a business. They'll teach them about their product or service, but they have to have some skill set about how to run a business. Maybe they've done some business development, some sales, some management, some leadership. So they need some skill set that way. They need some capital. Now, franchises cost anywhere from $50,000 to well over $1 million, but you need some capital. So we always say you should have around $75,000, liquid, which would be like cash, stocks, bonds, 401k, IRA, and around $150,000 net worth. It's kind of a minimum entry level, so it does take some money. If they want to just learn more, they can go to ourlebrun.com, which is my website. They can just fill out a form and set up a 15-minute call. I'll run them through these type of questions, and they can get an idea. The good news about the whole thing is our services are free. It does not cost our clients any money to go on the journey. If they buy something, we get paid by the franchise company. But if they don't, that's okay. Then they found out it wasn't for them. They just have to commit time. And time would take about 2 to 5 hours a week for about 4 months. It's a very well thought out MBA approach to evaluating businesses. So it's probably one of the safest journeys they can go on from an investment standpoint. And at the end of the journey, they'll have fully evaluated businesses. They'll have opportunities on their desk in front of them to make a decision of go or no go. But it's a total safe journey along the way.
Thank you. There will be more from Richard in a moment. If you are listening to this on a podcasting platform and you are encouraged by Richard's journey, please go to our website at onlinesuccessjourney.com. In addition to the amazing free content, you can work direct with me. Check out my course, Success, How to Set Goals and Double Your Productivity, a course for achieving success in work and life when you visit onlinesuccessjourney.com. The site has a ton of audio clips from hundreds of successful entrepreneur guests' journeys, all there to help you find the path to your own online success journey. Check it out. That's onlinesuccessjourney.com. Now, Richard, I would love for you to share more with my audience, if you're up for it.
Sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Do you watch movies or read books?
I do both. I read business books.
Out of all those books and the movies, tell us what is your favorite that has some relevance to being an entrepreneur.
All right. Well, I like books like, for example, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, Michael Gerber wrote a book called E-Myth. Every entrepreneur should read it. He's been a guru for 30 years in that business. It talks about the idea of owning a business and not. Simon Sinek's book called Your Why is a wonderful business book to really get people to understand why they want to be in business. It helps them formulate their own personal vision and passion. Movies, I like movies like Rudy. I love the underdog stories. I like gosh, remember the Titans. I just love all these type of underdog stories where people are committed and disciplined, and they get a chance to reach their goals in life. Well, there's a book. It's a great book. It's called Halftime by Bob Buford. And especially for our demographic, 45 to 65, this is about a man, a very successful man in the advertising industry who decided he wanted to go from success to significance. So he was already successful. He went to his accountant and said, look, I keep running the company, but now I want to do something more meaningful in life. And I think it's a wonderful journey to go on to read that book. They ask you a lot of soul-searching questions. Because I really think at the end of the day, business is business, but if you can add financial success, I think you'll end up being a lot more happy. So that's probably my most favorite book. Other than I wrote a book too, by the way. I'll just, if I can do a little plug here. It's called What's My Next Move, and I captured a story. If any of your listeners want that, they could just email me at LeBrun Advisory Group at gmail.com. I'll send them a free copy of our book. But it actually captures my entire journey of what I went on to end up where I am in the franchise industry.
If your business was down to its last $100, how would you invest it?
Bitcoin. That's a great question. Probably make sure my utilities are paid in my house. I really don't know. That's a great question.
If you are going to keep a note to yourself in your pocket every day, what would be written on it?
I actually have notes in front of me, and it's I always say that that wisdom is generally first peaceable. It's open and open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits, impartial, sincere, and a harvest of righteousness is sound in peace by those who make peace. So when I try to share my thoughts with people, I just want to make sure that I'm generating peace and the wisdom's pure and I'm open to reason, and I can help them without any bias. So that's what I carry around with me.
Do you feel like you succeeded or like you're only on the way?
I do. I really feel that we've hit our stride. Our dream personally has come true. My wife and I get a chance to work together, which is part of our dream. We have a nice business that we can run, and like I said, we can work anywhere around the country, around the world, and we've reached some financial success with it as well. So, and we get to help people. So I can't think of too many other things that I would have on my list. I think we really fit our success stride.
How do you balance work and your relationship, working together as a couple?
Well, I'm very fortunate. I married my high school sweetheart. We've been together for over 50 years, and we end up liking different things. So what she likes to do in business are the things that I don't, and vice versa. So we actually have a very nice line delineation where we can operate. And she's my alter ego. She keeps me in balance, and she's more conservative. I'm more risk-taking, so it's really just a nice combination. So we talk about that all the time. We're together 24/7, and we get along really, really well. So.
Will you ever stop?
Yeah, I was saying that I like to work. I just don't want to have to work. So I'm 68 years old. I don't have to work, and so I enjoy working. And because I really love what I do. I love being stimulated by business. I love talking with people. I get a chance to meet the nicest people, just like yourself, all over the world. And so when I stop is when I decide that I'm just not having fun anymore.
Remind us how we can connect with you.
Well, a couple things. You could, my telephone number is 847-912-4310. You can call or text. You can email me at LeBrun, LeBrun, advisorygroup@gmail.com, or you can go to rlebrun.com, my website, and click on the contact tab there.
Thank you. Richard, it's been great to have you here to share your online success journey with us.
Well, I'm sure grateful for you and what you're doing, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Remember, success is a journey. Don't wait. Let's start the journey. Patience and Richard.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to Patience and her guest, and want you to know that there are hundreds of episodes available at onlinesuccessjourney.com. Patience would like to thank you for listening to the podcast, and she has a free gift for you on her website, including an audio compilation of her guests' best tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. Additionally, there are special clips of over 250 episodes that have never aired on the podcast and are only available to members of the Online Success Journey. Check the website and click on Join Now to get free and instant access. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps us each chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed on the favorite platform you have to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review the podcast at Apple Podcasts and other sites. We appreciate your help and your willingness to share the journey. One last thing. If you're feeling a bit lost or overwhelmed on your own journey, Patience can help. Check out our coaching sessions on how to set goals and double your productivity while you're at the website. Working with Patience is a great way to get back on the right path. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.